Hello, I am Jared. I am the production director here at Fountain Springs Church, and part of my job is to oversee all of the production elements of our weekend services and other events. This summer we had a wonderful opportunity to make some needed upgrades to our systems here at West, not only to serve as an enhancement to our services at West, but also to help create the online experience or the East experience or the downtown experience, use the elements that we have here at West to create those experiences and make those better. And we do all of that through production, at least in my world. So this room is brand new to us. We call this the production control room. This room houses a couple different things that used to be in the auditorium, but now are in their own isolated room for a number of reasons. First off, we have our computer graphics position. So this is a volunteer position, someone that volunteers on a Sunday morning, gets here bright and early at 7 a.m., and they come in, and one of their responsibilities, or their primary responsibility, is pushing slides, putting the slides on screen, putting message notes up for David, for his message. They're also responsible for launching songs. So they have a button where they can hit song 1, and that'll make everything else happen. So that is one of the seats back here. The big advantage to them being in an isolated room is it allows them to communicate with people around them better without distracting in the auditorium. It also gives them a little more isolation from the room, from distractions that may be going on. That way, when they're waiting on David's cue for a slide, they can be laser focused in and be able to hit that slide right on cue every time. The other primary position that's back here is our video director. The video director serves a very important role as basically the cornerstone for all of our video content that goes out. So what they do is they are on a comm headset, so they can talk to camera operators, they can talk to the producer of the service, or they can talk to whoever else they need to through that headset. So being in this room allows them the flexibility and the freedom to talk whenever they need to, whether it's during a worship song, they don't have to yell to be louder than the music. They can talk at a reasonable volume. Or if it's during the message, they can talk while David's talking and tell a camera op, oh, we need to go get this shot over here, or do that, or do this. So they have the freedom to communicate openly and be at a reasonable volume. It also gave us a whole lot more space, room for activities. So as you can see behind me, there's a whole bunch of screens that allows us to see more of what's going on. Now that what is going on outside of this room a whole lot more, and allows us to babysit different systems, see all kinds of different cameras. That way we know what's going out and we can put the best product out and do it with excellence. Finally, we have some other systems for recording our services. That way we can do some post-production work, and then some other systems to monitor all the equipment and make sure it's all functioning properly and working correctly. And we have plenty of redundancies built in, so that if something does fail, we have backup plans and backup solutions. And this room is just the behind the scenes of how our weekend services happen. So not only is what's going on in here affecting what's going on in the auditorium for the Sunday morning service, but everything in here is also being pushed out to online or to our East location, or for recording when it gets played back at our Tuesday night service at the downtown location. So this is the hub, the center of all of that media control, and with the volunteers that we have on Sunday morning sitting in those seats, running those devices and equipment, we can make it all possible. All right, now we are at our front of house booth. So this booth is brand new in a new location. It used to be on the back wall, elevated, and because of that, there was a number of challenges that we faced. So for a variety of reasons, we moved it down to the floor. This allowed us a couple benefits. It put the sound tech right in the middle of the room to mix for the room that he is surrounded by. So instead of being in the back corner, isolated from everyone, the sound tech is now able to hear exactly what everyone else in the room is hearing and be able to mix accordingly for that. It allowed us to do a couple other things, like actually make it a little bit smaller. We were able to gain some seats in the auditorium based on doing this and making it a smaller footprint. It allowed us to tweak where the cameras are positioned and add additional cameras. So as you can see behind me, there's this camera moving back and forth. That wouldn't have been possible any other way than putting it on top of a wall and letting it ride this 20-foot track back and forth. So adding that camera, moving things around, and adjusting that allowed us to really increase the production value and the experience of watching the service, whether that's in the room, on screen, or at East, or downtown, or online. Adding more cameras just adds another level of energy in order to make the service more interactive and make it feel like you're more a part of the service. All right, now we're on stage. This is not a green screen. This is in fact an LED wall. How it works is there's a bunch of little pixels, very fine density, that all light up, and when you put them all together, it makes a big, beautiful picture. So a few months ago, we were able to assemble this all together. It's a total of 120 panels that are about this big, and it all came together and makes this screen that's about 10 feet tall and about 32 feet wide. One of the big motivations and drivers behind this was to help improve the in-room experience, as well as everything that goes on camera to make the stage look better and more interactive. So one of the ways that we use that is for David's message. So we were able to get rid of the TV with the small words and small pictures and have a life-size wall or screen for David to interact with. So we can put all of his sermon slides up there, any scriptures, as well as photos or interactive things. So if you saw a couple weeks ago or a month ago or whenever this goes out, we did a scene during the message where David was reenacting what it was like to be home during COVID and watching church from your living room. So we were able to do this set behind him, this virtual set that was just a few feet away. Just by the click of a mouse, it was there to help create that user or that experience and make the message more interactive and more engaging. So that is the LED wall. We put it all together and it's been working great, and we're still figuring out how to use it and what ways work best and what we can and can't do with it. So that wraps up the tour of the West location production environment. I'm so glad that you were able to stick around and watch this. Thank you to those of you who were able to support this mission through Shine 2021. Your generosity through this has allowed us to do some great things and take the amount of money that we had, and through our efforts, through volunteers, we were able to stretch that to an unbelievable amount to accomplish some things that, looking back a year ago, we thought were never possible, but we were able to pull it all together and make it work. So thank you for your support in that.